What's up, guys? Artem MMA Analysis here. Going to be talking about Alexander Volkanovski versus Max Holloway 3. And then after I kind of give my prediction, I'm going to look at UFC 276 and what I think that they need to add to make this a super stacked card. But just to kind of get into a quick rundown, I think Alexander Volkanovski is going to win, and he's going to win for a third time. I find it pretty hard to support Max Holloway just because his fan base is just so toxic and so delusional, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like Alexander Volkanovski very clearly won the first fight. I feel like he won the second fight in a very close fashion, won the third round, fourth round, and the fifth round after Max Holloway clearly won the first and the second round with knockdowns. I think that Volkanovski outlanded Max Holloway. The stats say it. If you watch it back, it does look like Volkanovski definitely won the round. But moving on from that, man, let's just move on. Max Holloway since then has gone on a 2-fight win streak, pretty impressive win streak over Calvin Kattar. He dominated Calvin Kattar. That win has actually aged pretty well considering the fact that Kattar come back recently and dominated Giga Chikadze himself. So that's a pretty good win for Max Holloway in my opinion. And then moving on, he did look quite human against Yair Rodriguez. And I feel like the Yair Rodriguez fight kind of showed that Max Holloway doesn't seem to have been making the improvements at the same rate as Alexander Volkanovski has. Because Alexander Volkanovski, look, I know it was a short notice fight technically for Chan Sung Jung, but it's still, like an 8 weeks notice, 6 weeks notice for Korean Zombie. And Volkanovski looks better than he ever has against Chan Sung Jung. Same sort of thing with Brian Ortega. Yeah, it was pretty close at some points with Brian Ortega, but apart from that, Volkanovski really did dominate the entire fight. Probably should have been finished in the third round. Because if you can't stand up yourself within 3 seconds without help from anyone else, it's a TKO win. Volkanovski probably should have won by TKO in the third, but the fight kept on going and he won a decision, so good for him. I picked Volkanovski by KO in the Chan Sung Jung fight. I didn't really expect it to be as dominant or as brutal as it was, because it was quite dominant and it was quite brutal. Kind of just makes Dan Ige look shit. Anyway, Max Holloway though, on the other hand, good 2-fight win streak. Definitely probably Alexander Volkanovski's hardest test so far in his career, really. Yeah, I'm gonna pick Volkanovski to win for a third time. I think he's won the first 2 times. I think that might be playing in the back of Max Holloway's head that Volkanovski won the first 2 times. I think like the guy with the more power in the hands is definitely Volkanovski. Like, Max Holloway lands hundreds and hundreds of shots, and these guys don't get knocked out, and these guys don't get down. So Max Holloway isn't gonna knock out Volkanovski. I feel like we know that's definitely a fact. He doesn't have the power to put the lights out. You know, this guy hasn't got a KO win in 5 years now, I don't think. So yeah, we definitely know that Holloway won't be capable of knocking out Volkanovski. It got TKO, 4 years ago against Brian Ortega, so I guess good for him. But his last KO was in 2017, so yeah, about 5 years ago. But yeah, I'm going to be picking Alexander Volkanovski to win this fight. I'm probably going to be going with the KO side as well. I do think that he's going to land with so much heat early on, and I think he's going to break Holloway down a little bit. Not that Holloway's a guy that's hard to finish, but he did slow down in the 5th round against Yair, and he did lose that 5th round against did he lose anyway, I know that he slowed down against Yair in the 5th round, and Volkanovski is showing that he's got 5-round cardio. He's showing that he's probably got better cardio than Max Holloway, considering the fact that he won the 3rd, 4th, and 5th in the second fight. I'm definitely pretty confident in Volkanovski to win this fight. I feel like the Max Holloway fans are going to hate me. I can see the dislikes, I can see the hate in the comments. Yeah, I've actually got quite a few haters, man. I mean, I know AJ Fletcher's family and friends absolutely hate me because I picked Matt Semmelsberger, but then Matt Semmelsberger won, as I predicted. But anyway, moving on. Let's move on to UFC 276 and talk about that. This could be a very stacked card, but we need Israel Adesanya and Jared Cannonier as the main event. Imagine this. Sean Strickland, Alex Bahia, Israel Adesanya, Jared Cannonier, a press conference. You put Israel Adesanya and Jared Cannonier in the press conference with Sean Strickland and Alex Bahia. Alex Bahia and Sean Strickland are guaranteed to talk to Israel Adesanya. The winner of that fight, Sean Strickland and Bahia, is probably going to fight for the title next, especially Alex Bahia, because I know for a fact that the UFC really wants to push this guy to be the next title contender. So I feel like Alex Bahia versus Israel Adesanya could potentially be happening sometime soon, and I know the UFC is going to want to promote that, and what better way to promote it than put them all in the same press conference. So yeah, definitely going to be going with that. We've actually quite a few 185 fights on this one. Potentially the Israel Adesanya fight, Strickland versus Bahia, potentially Tavares versus Duplessis, Uriah Hall versus Andre Muniz even. But yeah, moving on back to the fight, I will be picking Alexander Volkanovski to win for a third time over Max Holloway. Max Holloway is a great fighter, but his fan base has just really kind of turned me away from from him. And I do think that Alexander Volkanovski is probably one of, if not the most well-rounded fighter in the UFC right now. And he's got great cardio. He lands with a lot of power. He's getting more and more powerful as well. I don't know if you've noticed, but he seems to be landing with more power. Like, he damaged Ryan Ortega a lot. Now he's been damaging Chan Sung Jung a lot. Yeah, I'm picking Volkanovski. I feel like he's made the improvements necessary to put on a very, very good performance over Max Holloway. And I think he's going to do it in a fashion that no one's really going to question a decision if it goes to decision. I mean, apart from Max Holloway fans, even though Volkanovski clearly won the first fight, and they still think that Max won the first fight. But anyway, yeah, I'm picking Volkanovski with confidence. I think he's going to put on a pretty good statement in this fight.